Listen, I came from the hood. I was just in the hood yesterday because my cousin just got out of jail, so I went to go see him. So, I mean, this is what I'm around every day.
We get into that. Hold on.
We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going to do that.
I think we should, though.
We're gonna get to all these things. So you didn't vote for Donald Trump.
I did not.
What are the issues that you take with the president?
So, just really quickly to a point that George said, right? That I feel like the candidates that keep being put up year after year after year keep hardlining us. We're saying we're choosing the lesser of two evils, right? Where I think that it's really important that we see candidates that come from our communities that are talking about, like for me, right? I'm 25 years old. My student loan debt was due on Monday. Still haven't paid that, right? Because
I'm 25 years old. My student loan was due on Monday. I ain't got no money, so it ain't getting paid. I don't give a damn who say they want the money. You ain't getting it. Break it down, brother. Huh? You in between blessings too, huh?
Don't got the money to pay that right away. So thinking about what are ways that we see people who are experiencing the same thing, who are coming from our community, who also recognize the historical debt that this country has to Black people and to people of color so that we can move forward. So we know that, like, none of us are free unless all of us are free.
Thank you.
So, but when it comes to...
That's a good question.
None of us are free until all of us are free. Huh? Ain't none of us free until all of us are free. Free Nuciano.
I'm free. I'm free. I don't know what he's talking about. That got nothing to do with me. I'm free.
I hear you, sisters. I like her. I like her, man. Shawty is, what? I know they trying to remove the term woke, but Shawty is woke. I like her.
You voted for Donald Trump.
Yes.
Would you mind telling us
said,
why
I'm free.
he won your vote?
I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm free.
At first, I really didn't know much about what Trump was doing. I just knew, okay, it ain't her. So I'm just gonna vote for him. And I was still coming into being a conservative and all of that, and I just got converted to a Christian. I'm looking at my Christian values and I'm growing as a Christian and I'm realizing, wow, you know what I mean? This man is really aligning himself with what we truly believe in, you know, and coming from the...
So she just became a Christian. She just became a conservative. So her nose wide open on both sides. And she's like, look, I'm trying to figure this thing out. Y'all let me know what's going on. Okay, that's what conservatives do. Okay. That's what Christians do. Okay. I'm walking with y'all. I'm going. All right. I like this. This is nice. Okay. I like the digs. And that's exactly what happened. All right.
Wow. You know what I mean? This man is really aligning himself with what we truly believe in, you know, and coming from the South, Charlotte, North Carolina, we're really Christians, you know what I'm saying? Where my people from, you know, everything is based off of that. So I'm not going to support any party that's going to support abortion. You know what I'm saying? We just now getting kind of comfortable with homosexuality, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know, it's just like with marriage, you know, divorcing and everybody sleeping with every time thinking Harry, you know, in the South, it ain't like that. So it's like, that's just that foundation of Trump. But now going into the economy. I mean, I'm a businesswoman. I have my own financial consulting company, and seeing what he's been doing to where my taxes are not that high, and I'm not paying for what I came from, AKA living off of food stamps and I got family on food stamps that continue to live off of it. And I know, listen, I came from the hood. I was just in the hood yesterday because my cousin just got out of jail, so I went to go see him. So, I mean, this is what I'm around every day. And it's like, my cousins got the same opportunities I got. All they know about is either they're gonna make it in basketball or they're gonna have to just try to get some type of job and make it. I'm like, no, let's start a business of like, let's get this chicken, let's get into real estate, let's do this, that, and the other.
The tax reform is helping certain people, you know.
It's helping me.
But it's temporary. You know, you have the tax reform.
Creating your own business is not
Listen,
temporary.
It's not depending on the scale. It depends on the scale. It depends on the scale.
I just want to finish my statement.
Sure.
What I'm saying is this, for me, because I was able to step out, and this is a chick who got a felony, who had 5 years probation, who got a felony for grand larceny, which came down from money laundering. So when I say I was doing white collar crime, I was out here in these streets hustling.
Don't tell it all. Well, she said I think it's been cleared, so I can tell my story. They see the glory, but they don't know the story. You hear me? You slap your neighbor and say they see the glory, but they don't know the story. She about to tell her story. I'm gonna read your book too, sister.
Not for money laundering. So when I say I was doing white collar crime, I was out here in these streets hustling, scamming, please, okay? And so what I did was I made a choice to surrender my life to Jesus and live righteously.
That's
and
what
so
happened.
what he did was
I like
he put
that.
me in a position to where now I can teach people about finances and how to get out of the illegal game and clean their money the right way, get their credit on point, get into real estate, flip houses, and live a good stewarded life with money. So now I'm taking my cousins who all sell drugs. All of my cousins sell drugs. If they're not playing ball, they selling drugs. And if they in jail, they're getting out to sell drugs because they too old for ball. So all they know how to do is get money. So how do you tell somebody who been getting money all their life, oh, so now I'm about to work a regular job, like get paid and they're gonna take tax on my check, and then they don't even know where their taxes is going, so they just work 40 hours a week. They thinking they about to get a nice little $500 check and say $250. They're like, wait, what? I'm about to go sell drugs again. So now I have to teach them how to get out here in the legal game, and let's flip this money the right way. And again, the taxes that are placed on these businesses can either help us or hurt us. And what Trump is doing is helping me teach my cousins in the hood how to move so that they can get money and not keep busting people upside the head for money or selling drugs to people. These people that are continuously living on welfare, we're paying for it. So the more you're giving them in food stamps, the more you're allowing them to extend their lifestyle in the projects, the more money is coming out of my pocket as a taxpayer, and then now it's hindering my business. Well, now I'm not paying that much taxes, I got more money. So now if I need to say to homie, yo, listen, I got 5 racks, I'm about to invest this into you so we can start working on your business, and if we're gonna let the money circulate, once it circulate, you could go out on your own. If taxes is taking that money, how can I take that 5 racks and give it to them? That's part of my...
Woo! Drop the mic, sis. Pow! She just now dropped that thing. She said, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what it is, man. Huh? I'm out here shaking and moving and shaking. I'm getting this bacon. I'm getting this chicken. I'm showing other people how to do it. I'm going to put some money into you. It's going to roll over. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to go out by yourself. I'm going to get mine. You're going to get yours. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. You know what I mean? So forth and so on. All right. I like her, man. I don't care what y'all say. I like her. And she voted for Trump. She broke it down. She broke it down, brother.
Circulate, you could go out on your own. If taxes is taking that money, how can I take that 5 racks and give it to them? That's part of my problem with Donald Trump is he's literally making the rich richer. And what happens with that? The poor have to get poorer.
Raise your hand if you agree with the statement that I'm about to make. The welfare system destroyed the black family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So for the people who did not raise their hands, please tell me why you
100%.
disagree with that assertion. You do not agree with that assertion.
That's a hard question because it didn't help or hurt. It's the same. It's the same. Right. It's the same thing because I believe at one point, you couldn't get welfare if you had a man in the house or something like that. It's just.
And I think the other issue is nobody's actually talking about how that system, those systems, affirmative action benefited more white women than it did anybody else.
Nobody talks about affirmative action.
Okay,
why do they bring up things that don't got nothing to do with
That's considered under the umbrella of social Let him finish.
No,
I'm literally about to make a correlation, but
Please.
What I was going to say is that a lot of these systems that literally have been stereotyped to look like it's black people who benefit the most from them is actually white people who benefit the most from them. So that's what I was going to. So when I brought up affirmative action, I was bringing it up as a correlation. Affirmative action is always sold publicly it's benefited more black people when it actually has benefited more white women. Welfare is a system that there are more white people in this country on welfare than black people. More white people have benefited from welfare than black people.
So when we more the country.
There's more white people in the country. So what does white people have to do? What does it do with black people? Why every time we talk about white people, black people start going back to white people? Why everything has to be
because if you understand how systems of oppression work, then you would understand that the system is being sold publicly as something that black people or destruction of black people when realistically.
People who talk about welfare.
I thought we said we wasn't going to talk over each other. We was going to play nice in the sandbox before we got here.
Finish, please. And then we'll open it up to rebuttals. Please, George, please finish your point.
Yeah, so again, my point goes back to just like what she was saying, with the whole whether it hurt the black community or whether it helped the black community, that's not really the issue. The issue is that all these are systems of oppression and all the systems are interconnected. And we can't keep looking at these systems as oh, well, this is this one thing and this affects this. Even when she was bringing up her paycheck, she's well, my paycheck is going to this. Yeah, but your paycheck is also going to infrastructure.
Listen, welfare does hurt the black community, and welfare does help the black community. It does. It helps us because when we don't have the money to get out there and feed our families, it helps that the federal government can, go ahead and slide some money to the people who need it. To the people who need it. Like when a family needs it, taxes are for those type of things. They're for a whole bunch of things, but they're also to help out people who are in need, right? But welfare also hurts us because it makes us so used to it. It gives us it's so many people who abuse it simply because they can. They take that money and they flip it how they wanna, and they start their little things going from there. And other people could be like actually being helped by this tax money that we're all pitching in. It makes us too dependent. So much so that people are on welfare forever. Their entire lives they're on it. Simply because they can be. As long as they meet certain qualifiers, they're on it. That definitely hurts us. It doesn't help. And we're talking about specifically us. What they said about the other things, we'll touch on that later. But yeah, they talk about us. It hurts us and it helps us. So yeah.
She was bringing up her paycheck. She's like, well, my paycheck is going to this. Like, yeah, but your paycheck is also going to infrastructure. Your paycheck is also going to Medicaid. Your paycheck is also going to Medicare. Your paycheck is also going to Social Security, which...
Yo, if you like this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, hit the notification bell so that when I do put out new videos, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you.
Paycheck is also going to Medicaid. Your paycheck is also going to Medicare. Your paycheck is also going to Social Security, which is what helps my grandmother survive. Your paycheck, like, you know what I mean?
So I'm paying for your grandma, that's okay.
But your kids are going to pay for you, too.
You see
No, but can we make our own choice to say that we want to put our own money to the side to help what we want to help?
I'm never going to get it. So again, what I'm saying is, like, my point that I'm trying to make is that the systems are interconnected. So, like, you can't just keep speaking like this system is this and we need to remove this money from this system. It's like, that's not how that works. These systems are all interconnected. So it's not like you're just removing something from here and it's not gonna have a chain reaction on the other ways that they're able to oppress us through a different system.
And I understand all this, and we can have these very academic conversations about systems of oppression and intersectionality and all these other things. Like, we can do that all day long. Everybody has a degree here. But what we really need to talk about is how do we help the people right now?
Thank you.
Exactly.
And you help the people right now.
You just said everybody has a degree here.
Let me ask this.
Y'all want to help someone? Give me 20. Somebody give me $20. I need $20.
One second. So what are the policies that you have seen put forth either by conservative politicians or by our current president that...
Let me tell you something, man. Niggas get selfish when they start making money. Real selfish. What you going to do? How about we help people right now? How about we... Sis, I was just now saying I like you, but you selfish. Yeah, I love your grind. I love your hustle and all that other stuff. But, and I'm talking about the one with the braids. The one that's the business owner. I love her grind. I love her attitude, her strength, her go get it. I love that. Main man that said that he was gay like 50 times. And just now said, okay, we can talk about all this victim stuff, but let's talk about what we're going to do right now. Check this out, man. Y'all, I'm certain y'all give back in some way, shape, or form. But when you speak like that, you sound extremely selfish. Extremely selfish. Because you're only looking out for yourself. You might not be. I doubt you're only looking out for yourself because y'all seem like good people. So y'all not just looking out. You're not just helping yourself and just moving on with your business and your degree and all that. You're not. But if welfare helped you and your family, how could you act like it's the most selfish thing to put something in the pot for somebody else. The young lady beside you said your children will be doing the same thing for you. They're going to be paying into a bucket, and when it's time for you to get something out of it, you can get something out of it. Will it be worth what it's supposed to be worth? Probably not, because we're not managing our money properly. There's so much stuff that goes along with it. We don't trust the systems that are in place. I get it. I totally get it. There's ways to communicate that better than to say, nah, help me right now. Give me $20. Come on now. Come on. Your ass don't need no $20. You the one in there probably got the most money anyway, because you focusing. And look, your focus is on point. But you're getting into your selfish bag right there, and that's not cool.
That you have seen put forth either by conservative politicians or by our current president that you agree with, that you feel are benefiting the black community?
Just for example, you look at Trump when he did what he's doing with the tariffs for the trades. And
Yes.
he's done that. Now he's bringing jobs back into the country. When you get jobs back into the country, black unemployment is at the lowest it's been in American history. Black unemployment's at right now. So that benefits not just me, but any person that's black. Mm-hmm. How's that not benefit? Trump has everything. A lot of things Trump's done when it comes to jobs, the economy, when it comes to the stock market. I'm investing for the first time in my entire life and making a lot of money, by the way. Thank you, Donald Trump, for that. So, I mean, and I'm a black man, and is there an invisible wall there's a wall that says, oh, you're black, you can't invest? No, I go right through that wall and I invest. That's what blacks can do. We need to stop playing victim and start being victor.
Yes.
So let me ask.
Okay. I'm noticing a theme here. That people who have benefited in a remarkable way are definitely they definitely lined up with Trump, because they see the benefits. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself first. And that is a reason to move over. Your reason is your reason. It should be valid. You shouldn't have to explain it to anyone. So, shout out to you, main man, for investing in stocks, getting that money, getting that shmoney.
Invest. That's what blacks can do. We need to stop playing victim and start being victor.
Yes.
So let me ask this. For those of us who have a problem with some of the policies that have been offered by conservative politicians or by the sitting administration, I want to ask you a very specific question. Do you believe that either the sitting president and his administration offer racist policies, or that the party that conservative politicians fall under offer racist policies?
I want to stop calling things racist.
Sure. No, but tell me why.
They want to hear that.
It's, again, that's why I don't talk anymore in terms of racism. Like Toni Morrison said, racism is a distraction. She had a very good point on how it distracts us from doing the actual work we need to do. I work in my community. I do HIV testing. I physically work with the people who I talk about. Like, you know what I mean? I don't tell people, go pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I go buy the goddamn boots for them because I have a little bit more privilege than them. But when we talk about it, I'm talking about anti-blackness, because this is a global thing. And I think that's the part that they were bringing up earlier. Like, we can't just look at like some isolationism just of black Americans or just of this. Like, anti-blackness is a global thing. And it's all interconnected. And the problem is, like, people are like, oh, we shouldn't talk about the intersections. We've never had the ability to talk about the intersections. So this is the time that we actually need to start talking about the damn intersections, because we've never had that opportunity. If the one thing I will say about Donald Trump is that, yeah, he opened up the floor for conversations. Yeah. So now, because now for the first time ever in this country, white people feel oppressed.
It was necessary.
Now that white people feel oppressed, they calling me all the damn time, because now they want to know what oppression feel like. And now they want to know, well, how'd you get through this? Because now I'm getting booked and busy all the damn time because white people feel oppressed. And that's who they feel oppressed. They feel oppressed by somebody that look like them, and they're not used to that. A particular part of this country, for the first time ever in their whole lives, feel just as oppressed as my ass is.
Boom. Mike, mofo, apostrophe N, drop.
And can we also talk about the tax bill? Because you talked about
tell me about that.
So my biggest issue was with that tax bill. I think recently one of the bigger companies got $10 million in tax benefits, and they're going to donate it. But that money belongs to you. That money should be for you and all of us and all our family. It doesn't belong to the 1%, 10% of America.
When we talk about black people and the 1%ers and the rich and all that stuff, why do we always assume that black people are broke? And let me finish before you jump in there. Why are we always, we're always operating under the assumption that all black people are broke, that there are no black people in the 1% of this country, that there are no black people that are CEOs, that there are no black people that are business owners, that there are no black people that head and run the corporations that benefit from these tax breaks.
Like, why even use black or magic for black
talking about black people from the prism of brokenness and oppression, as if the black 1%ers don't exist.
Again, like that's well, we can talk about the exception and the rule, right? Because what you're speaking of is the exception of blacks.
And we need to start actually having real conversations about reparations.
Wow, the exception and the rule. Yeah.
Right? And like what reparations actually look like.
Not reparations.
That way, right?
Not reparations.
Wait. You guys are okay with Jewish people receiving reparations right now in this time, but you're like, no.
There's not enough time in the day for us to have the reparations conversation.
People have websites where they've actually created models and thinking about like, oh, even if you forget the mule, right? What does actually 40 acres for black people look like? Or just recognizing that the trauma and the history that has been affected on black people. Like I think about like literacy, right? You can't tell black people for 200 plus years that you can't read and then give them books and be like, why aren't you reading? Why aren't you reading without addressing that trauma, right? There's things within our system, within ourselves that we need to address.
You know what the problem is with the black person? I'm gonna tell you what
conservatism has ever given me is the opportunity to see myself as an individual.
Thank you. I was just about to say that.
Collective.
Yes.
All the time. Just for me, it's just like when we're black people, like we're always supposed to be a part of some monolith and collective where we're just supposed to always be talking about the struggle
and this is the thing, you speak
So when you want to talk about
why does every black person, why as a black person, we have to always compare ourselves to white people for it to be some, but the white people. So it's like
because they see them as a perfect example.
In my mind, I feel like at the end of the day, I'm Bevelin Beatty. That's all I am. And all I know what to do is when that check come, that check say my name on it. When that rate come and say my name on it. When my phone bill due, that say my name.
Who here was raised in a black Democratic household?
Black Democratic.
I want to hear what your reactions are to black voters being synonymous with the Democratic Party.
Well, here's the thing. The reason that black voters are synonymous with the Democratic Party is because we've been on the receiving end of about 50 years of an onslaught of PR. It comes from our entertainers, it comes from our ball players, it comes from our singers, it comes from the Democratic politicians who, most of which are black and empty, but are being used to sell us this idea of the Democratic Party being the home of African Americans. And that is why we vote 90% Democratic. Now let me tell you something. There is not another demographic in the world that votes 9 out of 10 votes for one party. Why is that still something to be proud of? Why do we say that we are proud to vote 90% for Democrats? They don't have to do shit for us, okay? Because they know they're gonna get 90%.
You wanna respond?
I think you're kind of essentializing just like black people in general, because my perspective of, I didn't raise my hand, but like I did kind of grow up in a black Democratic household. And like my family, I came here when I was 4 from the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Central Africa. And like, my mom didn't know Democratic or Republican. She just
knew policies.
She just knew policies, and she was watching the news and she was seeing what policies benefited her and her 3 children, because she was a single mother. So like, I think that's definitely essentializing the black community. Just like you're saying you want it to be an individual, you're kind of not doing that by, essentializing this rhetoric.
But I have to use the example because 90% of us vote a certain way. So just
Even
in the context of the conversation, I have to say, well, if 90% of us are voting a single way, like, why is that? And to me, that's a big driver of why.
Yeah, and it opens yourself up for brainwash for a community as well, because political leaders, they see you voting that much blindly like that, they're going to lie to you and do whatever, because they know you're going to lie.
She just said policy. She just said it.
Hold on. Yeah, from a policy standpoint, if you want to jump in, please.
It's not as much groupthink as people assume it is, as much as it's harm reduction. So one of the things that I often talk about, because I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm just black and I'm George.
Yes, yes.
I talk about what we need to do in our communities, right? Local level, macro level, micro level, right? Because that's really where it starts. Voting isn't the beginning, voting isn't the ending, voting is just a tool in the toolbox. That whole toolbox includes us as black people when we do get money and when we do get on and when we do get these things, going back and bringing other people along with us, not shitting on them because they couldn't pull themselves up by bootstraps. Again, like I always talk about that whole bootstrap argument because some people don't have boots. Yep. So it's like when you're telling people that they can pull themselves out of somewhere, some people don't even have anything to pull from.
What is it about...
That's true. That is so damn true. That is so true. But, you know, that mentality F's us up, man. By you not having boots for so long, you stop believing that you can put on boots. Like when somebody try to pull you back up, you're not buying it. You're not with it. Like you're not trying to even figure it out at all. It's like, nah, I don't understand that. And I get it. If something's foreign, you're not going to be, you know, chopping at the bit, try to learn how to speak a new language. No, that's not what we're doing. We want to learn how to get it right now. If you can't tell me how to get it right now, I'm going to move on to something that's going to show me how to get it right now because you BSing in my mind. But people don't understand that you're going to have to learn certain lessons in life in order to achieve certain things that the people in the top 1 to 10% achieve. You got to. If you don't pay through a university, you're going to pay through the universe. You're going to learn. Oh, you're going to learn today. Something going to happen. You got to pay your dues at some point. So if dues are bootstraps, god dang it, then you're going to have to stop complaining about having to put your boots on. Find some damn boots. Go out there and find some boots. If you're physically capable of getting out there and finding some daggone boots, then go find some boots. You know what I mean? Everybody got something to complain about, something that victimizes them. And it's BS after a while. And you want to talk about people using that as a tool? Oh, they use that as a tool. They hear us complaining. They see what we always say what we can't do and how we behind and how we can't do this, that. Come on, bro. They use that.
Conservative politics that have convinced you that either the Republican Party or conservative politicians have your best interest in mind as black people in America?
My biggest thing is this. I feel like a lot of conservatives, they just want to mind their business. They want to get their hands out of your pot and have you do what they did, figure themselves out. And I want to go back to student loans because I pay student loans, okay? I went to school for fashion marketing and merchandising, did not use the degree at all, it threw it away, and now I got all this money to pay back. So now every month I pay my bill on time, it reports to my credit, and because I paid on time, I got good credit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still able to utilize my credit to go further. So for me, I'm not asking for the government to make better policies for me to pay back my loans. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work my business, and when I got the money I need, I'm gonna pay it off. And then let me answer though. And then when I get the chance and I make that money for my kids, if my kids choose to go to college, me as a parent, that's my responsibility to make sure that I pay for their education or I open the doors for entrepreneurship. So, because my kids don't have to go to college. If they want to own businesses, they can own businesses. If they want to get their education, they can get their education and work for their brother or sister who owns a business. So in my reality,
I see now you're back on my side. Because that's how we are too. That's how we are too. Go out there, shine, do your thing. And I'm going to make sure that you got a soft landing spot. Yep. That's why I bust my tail. That's why I can't go to all the places that a lot of people are out there going. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to make sure that they good. That they good now and in the future. That's our responsibility. But I believe sometimes too we need that type of like we actually need to get out there and make things happen for ourselves first. We need to consider the future. We need to be able to walk into our family's house and see our grandfather and great-grandfather pictures up on the wall, great-grandmother pictures on the wall, and our children should know exactly who they are. There should be some pride in our lineage. And if we can't establish that, and if we're not even trying to establish that, then something is wrong. Period. Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you.
They can get their education and work for their brother or sister who owns a business. So my reality is this. How is it that the government keep having to pay back stuff that's our choice in the first place? Ain't nobody putting no gun in nobody's head making nobody go to school.
That's what capitalism is saying.
Capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is not saying that.
Be successful.
That's not true. Capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is saying that you could start a business through trade. If you want to go be a doctor or lawyer, you could do that. Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can do that. It's still a choice.
But
regardless of what,
a specific field of study.
It's a choice. That don't mean that because, it's a choice, but now we got to pay our taxes for the fact that you wanted to go to school and now I got to pay for that.
Let's let him respond.
We literally shame the people who don't go to college, the people who are... America does. Like, we literally shame it. We say, like, for you to be successful in this country, you have to get a degree. You have to speak English, right? Like, there's all these things that are told to us that, like, we have to do to be successful in this country. If we don't do that, then you won't amount to anything,
Can I make
right?
a strong point? Because I agree with exactly what you said, is that we tell people in this country that they ain't shit if they don't have a college degree. And that is the biggest lie that we tell to people. And it is a huge lie that we tell to black kids, that they are nothing without a college degree. Because you want to talk about student loan debt. I got student loan debt, you got student loan debt, she got student loan debt, these people got student loan debt. So what we're doing is we're telling these kids that...
See, my kids ain't got no student loan debt. Listen, and I ain't trying to flex on nobody, but I'm just saying, when you make decisions to put your family first, they ain't got no student loan debt. When you make decisions to get out of the environment that wasn't doing you any good, and making things happen for the future and in betterment of everything connected to your bloodline, you good. Is failure possible? Hell yeah. That's part of it. You know what I mean? Can you be clipped up by certain rules and laws that's in place? Certain biases that are in place? Heck yeah. Where do we not have a little bit? You're gonna face danger crossing the daggone street. If you don't cross it correctly, you got along with getting some education, you better get you some daggone common sense too. Along with getting you some common sense, you better get you a little bit of Jesus or something to believe in. Because all of it matters. Some faith, some education, some luck, some grit. It takes all of that. Support when you ain't got it. Yeah, all of that is necessary. We F up when we start thinking that we better than somebody. That's when we F up. Yeah. And then it usually ain't the people who are at the top that think they're better than. It's usually the people who are still at the bottom that think they're better. I ain't have everything you have. I'm still here in the trenches. I'm still here working with the people. What you doing? We are our worst enemies sometimes. That's why I'm really appreciating this conversation right here. And the youngin' that's running the conversation is doing an amazing job. How he selected this panel, I don't know how he selected this panel, but they did an extraordinary job. Shout out to them. These youngins are educated with or without education. I'm talking about the university help or assistance or education. With or without it. They are knowledgeable. Somebody did something for them that prepared them to be able to navigate this world that we're in. Pick up skills, people skills, communication skills, skills that'll pay their bills. I didn't mean to rhyme just now. I'm just saying, all this is necessary.
So what we're doing is we're telling these kids that they are nothing unless they have this degree, which is virtually worthless, okay, at a certain point. What we need to start telling our youth to do is to build businesses. Like, you don't need a degree to do that. And we have a system that is putting these kids, putting this idea in their mind that they need this degree to be worth something and making them indebted to the government at the same time.
Until we change that,
we're gonna start
the solution
to lose,
is entrepreneurship and capitalism.
We're gonna start to lose some of us within the next like 15-ish minutes. So I want to like move along. We're gonna go into overdrive here. Who here believes that the black vote should be courted more?
Oh, then yeah, of course.
So for those of you who didn't raise your hands, why do you not feel that way?
Because I don't trust when they start courting us. Like, I'm always like, oh God, what do they want? What are they trying to do? They haven't really helped us before. What do you want us to do now? And then we're gonna be left with nothing.
A person has to serve the majority. So if we're talking high-level politics, no matter who you vote for, the majority of this country ain't me. It doesn't look like me. So it's never going to be anybody who's going to do anything that's going to make a movement in a needle on that type of level. Now, if you want to talk about micro-level politics and councilmen and who's sitting on the student board, who's sitting as the mayor, now we could talk about that all day.
I strongly agree with him when he says that we don't talk enough about local politics.
So that's where I'm at. That's why I said like black vote. Like, you could do it.
I think that the best thing that we can do in terms of thinking about advocacy is how do we set up certain policy and legislation to keep those people accountable, right? Like, we need to be critical of both sides and thinking how people actually know what's on the ballot. Like, what are the propositions that are happening? Because I don't think both sides are educating our people properly at all.
On the props. Yeah. That's true. I would like to say, like, this whole conversation, listening to everybody, some things I do disagree with, some of y'all, but I agree with a lot of the entrepreneurship thing. Like, I'm investment. I think that we all want the same things. Everybody wants a boot. We all want boots. Some of us want more boots than others. Yeah. And I think we need to figure out, how do we get there together? How do we work together to get what we want, which is the same thing. Yeah. You know, I think we have different ways of getting there.
No, I mean, we're good. That's it.
We're good.
Guys, I appreciate it. Everyone signed everything.
Oh, can we take a picture?
We can take a cool picture.
We gotta take a picture.
Everybody say democracy.
Democracy. Black said.
That was dope, man. That was dope. Shout out to Vice. That was amazing, man. That was absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and sub this channel right now because this was dope. And make sure y'all go do the same thing. I want to hear what y'all guys say about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I am Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside of the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing. Love y'all.